Half the room wants to be us, the other half fears us. I know George is next in line, but after that, who knows?
That is Amy Adams in her Oscar-nominated role as Dick Cheney's wife, Lynne, in the movie Vice. 3 weeks from tonight, Adams could win her first Academy Award for that performance in the category of Best Supporting Actress. She's already one of the most respected actors in Hollywood, with a half dozen Oscar nominations over the years in movies like The Fighter and American Hustle. Adams can do the big budget thing too, with memorable roles in Enchanted, Talladega Nights, Night at the Museum, and as Lois Lane in the Superman movies. But for someone who's been in a class with the biggest stars in the world for more than a decade now, the refreshingly low-key Adams still doesn't understand all the fuss. Amy and I got together here in New York for a Sunday Sitdown. With 6 Academy Award nominations and more than 2 decades on screen, Amy Adams is, by any measure, a movie star. Just don't call her one.
It's so weird. I still shirk away from the word movie star or any of it.
You
can say it, make me uncomfortable.
Is that the plan?
But Adams is completely at ease in her latest Oscar-nominated role as Vice President Dick Cheney's wife, Lynne, in the film Vice.
You have the courage to become someone, or I'm gone.
You realize she was a force of nature from the very beginning of her marriage and her relationship with Dick Cheney.
Yes, she was a force. And she was very outspoken and a staunch defender of her family and her husband.
Did you find her to be a more sympathetic character than you might have imagined?
I think for me, I have to let go of my opinion of, especially somebody in a political spectrum. She's hard on herself,
yeah.
I would think. She expects a lot of herself. And I think that's sort of what comes across because she is very challenging to others. But I don't think she challenges anybody else to do something that she wouldn't do.
Adams is paired with Christian Bale as the vice president. Bale, who also is nominated for an Academy Award, gained 40 pounds and spent 4 hours a day in the makeup chair to become Dick Cheney.
No one has shown the world the true power of the American presidency.
It's astonishing. It really was a transformation of spirit.
Does he stay as Dick Cheney, like you're at the craft services table and he's Dick Cheney, or how does that work?
He talks, you know, he still talks in the voice, so that's what you can have a conversation about life.
That's a funny visual, actually. You guys still in character, but like talking about your kids.
Talking about, holiday plans. Yeah, exactly.
The 44-year-old Adams was born in Italy, where her father was stationed with the Army. She grew up in Castle Rock, Colorado, one of 7 children in a Mormon home.
There's a work ethic and sort of an understanding of how family works together that I understood based on my upbringing and based on my experience of the church and the way that the community comes together to help each other.
Amy's dad was a musician, so family time often was a sing-along.
We were always a little bit more backup to my dad. It was weird because I always pursued performing but wasn't necessarily comfortable getting the solo.
You could put on a Broadway show with 7 brothers and sisters. Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to see. I'd love to get them all on stage. I've got a couple of my siblings have some real pipes.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we get you out on tour, little Partridge
Little
Family kind of
Partridge
thing.
Family.
Come on, get happy.
Adams sang in the school choir and trained as a dancer. After graduating high school, she worked in dinner theaters in Colorado and Minnesota.
So how does it work? You're a waitress before, and then you hop up in the chorus line?
I was a horrible waiter.
What happened?
I couldn't keep track of orders, and I just was flighty,
A little distracted,
just
maybe.
Constantly distracted. Loved engaging with in conversations with people,
Yeah.
And then I think I would just forget that I wasn't there to talk to people.
Right.
They were actually just really wanting me to get their bread, and I was asking them a lot of questions. Where do you come from? What brings you here? What are you celebrating? And they're like, you're so nice,
Bring out
but
the drinks.
we really are looking for a dinner.
At 25, Adams moved to Los Angeles to do some acting that did not involve taking drink orders. Her first break came in 2002 when Steven Spielberg cast her in the movie Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio. That role should have been a springboard to stardom, but it didn't feel that way to Adams.
I think I just didn't have the confidence to be in the rooms that I was invited into at that point. And I think I just kind of failed a lot, you know. I just
In auditions, you mean?
yeah, it had to do with my attitude. I didn't believe in myself. And so I think I just got back to my work. You know, I started focusing on the acting again.
Her focus paid off.
My favorite animal is the meerkat.
In 2005, Adams starred as the naive, chatty Ashley in the low-budget indie film Junebug, a performance that earned her first Academy Award nomination. Adams' career took another big leap 2 years later when she played Giselle, the lead in Disney's blockbuster musical comedy Enchanted. The next year, she earned an Oscar nomination for Doubt.
That explains everything, thanks be to God.
And 2 years later, another for her role in The Fighter, where she first teamed with Christian Bale.
What have you ever done with your life?
I like my life.
The Fighter was directed by David O. Russell, who called on Adams again to play a con woman in American Hustle,
Okay, baby, let's go dancing.
which brought yet another Academy Award nomination.
He just challenged not only people's expectations of me or what they thought they knew about me, but he challenged my own as well. I think he saw me in a different way. You know, he saw some truth in me that I had been hiding.
Adams has an 8-year-old daughter with her husband, actor and painter Darren Lagallo. And despite her status as a Hollywood A-lister, she works to keep a low profile.
Is that a concerted effort by you to keep your private life private?
I think when I started, that was pretty common. You know, that was
Yeah.
sort of whatever. Everybody was a little more private. It was before social media was really
Yeah.
prevalent. It's a tricky balance of, you know, wanting to be known, not known famous, known like your spirit and your soul known and understood, and needing to respect boundaries and privacy.
As Adams prepares for another walk down the red carpet at the Oscars, she admits it all still feels a little strange.
So then when do you get the swagger? Was it Oscar nomination for
still don't
Junebug?
think I have
You
the
don't have the
swagger.
swagger. Come on, you've got to have
I don't
swagger.
know. I don't know if I have swagger.
Really?
I don't know.
But you walk into a
I have,
room and you're
when I,
confident now.
oh,
You know
yeah.
you belong. We've
Well,
established that.
I know that I love what I do, and I know I'm willing to do the work.
I know you love the term movie star, so I'm just going to keep calling you a
just
movie
hard.
star.
It's like-
Makes you very comfortable.
It's very uncomfortable.
You're a real movie star, you know that?
It's the worst.
I mean, she is a movie star. Vice is in theaters now, and our thanks to the gallery at the Lotte New York Palace for hosting our conversation. To hear Amy talk about the role in Enchanted that changed her life and where she was when she found out about it, check out our web extras at today.com/Sunday.